Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Plat Hanzo. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that really does help me out. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what the rates look like, all sorts of good stuff like that.
See through the dragon's
Yep, totally
eyes.
reasonable. You go for the storm. You haven't connected with anything yet. This is a little dicey. He hasn't taken damage yet. Usually you're using Storm more once you've already connected a shot, or in like a barrier break situation. Using it here when you haven't, or in a dual type situation, using it here when you haven't connected on any shots yet, you're really counting on someone else to hit a shot while you're hitting Storm, which didn't happen.
Thank you. Marked by the dragon.
Okay.
The objective is now active.
Taking the objective! Join me in glory!
Okay.
I understand.
You have my thanks.
I'm going to be curious if you get the timing on this Sonic Arrow right. Hint, it's about time to send out your Sonic Arrow. A little early, I guess. Okay. Good. Yeah, so there should be a Sonic Arrow either here or here right now. That's a mental thing you have to be tracking from when did we wipe the team. That tells you when you need to have your arrow out for when they would be potentially be coming back, be peeking, etc. You want that out there to tell you, are they approaching from, are they coming from this way or not type scenario. Is there a chance of someone peeking me here? No one's there? Okay, good, etc. So we didn't get any value from our Sonic Arrow. Now you pop that. Fine.
Thank you.
Okay, she's gone. Fine. Good hop react. Now you storm. Yep.
Nowhere to hide.
You have hop in one. Go left. Go left.
See through the dragon's
You're doomed. That's why I wanted you to go left originally, to get the health back, so that we didn't have this whole time of you not being able to take aggressive angles because you didn't have health. But that's okay. You guys got 45% before it flipped, so.
I am not deterred.
No. Justice. Let me get you catch back.
Marked by the dragon.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Sonic Arrow doesn't really help you. You'll mostly have it back, though, by the time you need it. How are we going to use this dragon?
Name's McCree.
From the approach of our team?
See that which is unseen.
Okay, just take out the easy shot. Take the easy shot here. So, part of why this feels bad, etc., is because you came in the same direction as your team. I sort of get, hey, you want to have the dragon strike from this direction. I do understand that. But this is a little painful that your team is pushing from this direction and so are you, because of course things are going to collapse on you from every different direction. Doomfists, Pharaohs, etc. Like, we don't necessarily want to be with our team. We want to take advantage of the ankles. But we'll deal. Good. You can just push her. She doesn't have anything to beat you with, and you have a pocket. The Doomfist is scary, but the Doomfist isn't here yet. You made that fight take longer than it had to.
I'm taking the point.
My dragon strike is ready.
Generally, you do want to make sure you've hit with that first arrow before you immediately follow it up into Storm Arrow. Like, at least on targets where your hit is questionable, and your hit is certainly questionable on a Pharaoh at that range. Like, yes, if it's a tank and you're like, hey, I hit a shot and then I immediately Storm Arrow, yeah, of course, that's fine. You're decreasing your delays, etc. I get it, etc. But in this situation, once you've spent your Storm Arrow, you're not winning this fight anymore against a Pharmacy unless you happen to one-shot her or happen to one-shot her Mercy, which is mostly not what you're going for against these. You're looking to hit a body shot, pop arrows, pop Storm Arrow, and then get the finish. So if you didn't get your Storm Arrow, it's kind of over. So you do want to make sure that you hit that arrow. And look, you hit it this time, but you don't have Storm available anymore. That works. Huh. Nice. Maybe for you, Sire Sappy. Hey, Manny. See how you've gotten so much more success over here? Part of this is you, hey, got a good streak of shots, and that was, hey, you muscled it, you hit the shots, etc. But part of this is you're threatening from a different direction than your team, which is way easier than when you and your team were all coming from the same direction. Hey, I get it, Sire Sappy. You're not the only person that's true for. I know a Genji who, well, the solution to everything is swap to Genji.
By the dragon.
Cease your resistance.
Heroes never die.
Are we remembering we have dragon after all this time? Okay, good.
I have my eye on you.
Okay, so far so good. Coming in for the same angle as your team hurt you, made that retake slower. You've had some, hey, you hit it, you just press Storm Arrow whether you've hit your shot or not things that have potentially made it harder to hit some of these challenges. You had
Ready for battle.
a time where you just didn't use your Sonic Arrow for scouting when they were on their way back, etc. So you didn't know if an angle was flanked, when there was a 50-50 chance you'd have caught the Doomfist direction if you'd Storm Arrowed it or Sonic Arrowed it. And I'm not convinced that you didn't just forget you had Dragon Strike, because you used one Dragon Strike that whole fight, or that whole round.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
I like this map too.
See through the dragon's eyes.
I think I probably like Ilios more, but I do like this map. You and Hager on this side. Your team is here. I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
The objective is now
Mm-hmm. Nice. If we look at when you popped your storm, though, it's kind of the same thing that's going on. Like, I'm glad that you hit the mercy shot. That's cool. But if we look at the symptom here, not quite. You fired this arrow, and then you immediately pulled out storm arrow. And again, you have no idea if you hit a body shot that you justifiably get to follow up on with storm arrow. You're just like, I'm instantly popping it, and I'm not a huge fan of that. And as you see, it ends up making you go, oh shoot, I'm wasting half my storm arrow duration before I have a target because I expected to have to take more shots, etc., because you happen to get a headshot. So now these are rushed, and you don't even get the last storm arrow off because you're doing that habitually rather than going, hey, I'm hitting this, and Storm Arrow isn't for following up a fully charged shot. Storm Arrow is specifically for following up a body shot that you hit someone with, or a tank. It can be you hit the tank with a headshot, and then you follow up with Storm Arrow too. That's fine too. I just like that Ilios gives you a really good variety in the maps, where it's like, hey, Sniper is dominant on one, Well is going to, like, if you think about from a main tank perspective, you're going to play potentially Orisa on, at least in most metas, on Well. You're going to play Winston on Ruins, and you could play a variety of things on the one. But it's like, hey, here's three different, play three different tanks for the three different maps, etc. Almost regardless of what the meta is, it kind of forces a lot of adaptation because of how different the maps are. Whereas on a lot of King of the Hill, you can force whatever the meta is on all of the maps.
Too easy. Enemy turret destroyed.
Hardly broke a sweat.
I am healed. Marked by the dragon.
Bad guys, heads up.
Mm-hmm.
See that which is
Okay.
unseen.
I don't really think that's Sonic Arrow helped you very much, but hey. I suppose I should be more critical of your Sonic Arrow usage so that you can get better. Let's go back a little bit more here. This was a Sonic Arrow. This is fine. Okay, you don't have Sonic Arrow back yet. There's that.
See that which is unseen.
Okay, I'll live.
Heroes never die.
This should be a Storm Arrow. Why is this not a Storm Arrow? Why is this not a Storm Arrow?
Weakening.
It should have been a Storm Arrow after the first arrow, man. Now you're in the same situation where you fired like expecting to miss, and expecting that you missed, you popped Storm Arrow, and you're in this like, oh shoot, I have to rush to go use this Storm Arrow. You're only going to get half of it again. Yep, and now you have to rush this. You had no chance of hitting that third shot. You forced it anyways, and you did get the last shot, but you had to rush it. And obviously didn't hit with it.
This is not your time.
Good.
Thank you.
Turn check for the Pharaoh. Yep.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Marked by the dragon.
Nice.
Let's get you back out there.
See that
Good.
which is unseen.
Well timed. You could have stormed it. I would have forgiven you if you'd stormed that. She'd have, of course, gone behind cover, but I'd have forgiven it. Good. You didn't aim those. Who are you shooting at? 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 Like, I don't mind that you missed shots, but I don't think you aimed those. I think you aimed in the general direction of a red clump and held down your shoot button. I feel like that's what happened. That's not good. You do still want to try to aim your shots. Now, it becomes a bit of a machine gun thing with the storm arrow, but you just treat it like tracking. If you want to go, hey, I'm going to hold it down and treat it like tracking, that's fine, but you have to treat it like tracking and still try to lead your targets like you would with hit scan tracking. Like, oh, they're walking here, etc. You know, I expect they're going to move left, I expect they're going to move right, yada yada. You were kind of like red blob fire, and so 3 of your shots went right down the middle between people, over the torp's head, etc.
Justice rains from above. Justice. Where does it
Don't worry, my friend. I have your shield.
Marked by the dragon.
I don't like that Sonic Arrow. You're not going to necessarily have it back in time for your team to do stuff, so that is purely a I'm muscling this, I'm Sonic Arrowing so that I can get a pick before my team is ready to do anything. And that's just working too hard. The game is going to work much better if you try to work with your team and go, hey, I'm going to get a pick because my team is distracting, as opposed to I'm going to get a pick before my team is distracting. So, like, again, now would be a better time for a Sonic Arrow. Your team is sort of relevant, the enemies are looking at them, etc. But hey.
See that which is
Sonic.
unseen.
Who did you think you were hitting with that arrow? You have a Sonic up.
See that which is unseen.
What? Like, that person wasn't going to travel far enough to get to that arrow. Even if you thought they were working, like, you have to be predictive it's a projectile, but why did you think that Pharaoh was going to walk at ground level that far to get hit by that arrow? And you knew where that Pharaoh was, because, again, Sonic. And you thought you were going to hit with that arrow, so you popped... No. Again, you hit with the shot, and that is your cue to pop Storm Arrow.
Heroes never die.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Leave. You can pump the barrier. It does annoy him to pump his barrier full of shots. And it's better than letting them expire.
Marked by the dragon.
Okay. Hit your shot. Leave. Good. You didn't hit a shot. I'm not sure why you then stormed on a hog that had like a tiny fraction of his body available to you. This is what you stormed.
See that which is
Wouldn't it have been great to have Storm for this Torb that you just, whatever. Good.
Healing enhanced.
Mm-hmm. She knows where you're going. Yeah. How did you get that Mega? That should not have happened.
I am here.
Okay.
Score
Okay, so the biggest thing really is you just assuming that you're going to hit shots or assuming that you're going to miss shots and popping storm arrow as opposed to going, hey, I hit a body shot, now I storm. I got some value, now I storm. Or, something's on top of me, so I have to storm, etc. Or storming to break a barrier, etc. But hey,
It is not my
that's okay.
to see to matters
We
personally,
will get there.
but I will see them done.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Understood.
It is painful to Sig to have his barrier broken.
Hello there.
The power of destruction.
See through the dragon's
Okay.
eyes.
The objective is now active.
I believe in you. Do you want the torp or the turret? Okay.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Good. It's okay if you storm here.
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
Marked by the dragon.
That didn't do a ton for you.
Mighty enemies place turret here.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Good.
Yuga waga teki wo kurau!
Excuse me? You and Mercy versus the world? Your Dragon Strike is going to be the difference maker and keep point for you guys? Your Dragon Strike is going to cause them all to flee the point, buying enough time for who exactly to touch point again and keep it for another 15% at least. Because if you don't get another 15% of the point off of this Dragon Strike, absolutely not worth. And I don't think you're going to get it. Hint, you didn't get it.
Better.
Just go back for the Mega. Don't challenge it. Go back for the... Don't. Why take this risk? Why?
Group up with me.
If you had health after hitting that shot, you could now pop Storm. He does not have a good enough cover. Good.
Surrender to my will.
Do something.
That's the best you can do.
Nice. Nice.
Group up.
I'm a little surprised that you just have zero interest in that turret with some of these shots. Now you finally have a little interest. Like, with how hard that McCree is just sitting by the pillar, I'm surprised you're not going, okay, I'll take your turret for free.
Heroes never die.
I don't really want a Storm to break the turret when the turret is so easy to break from here, but okay.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Activating the barrier.
Seemingly vague.
Marked.
Hold up.
This is a case of you not recognizing when fights are lost. Kind of twice in a row that that's happened. You dragon when you shouldn't have, and then you just stayed in this one when your team was massively behind, and them pushing you was sort of an inevitability. The turret's dodging the arrows. Yes, yes.
Yuga waga teki wo kurau!
Is there a tip for fighting Valking Mercy as Hanzo except that? Not really. I mean, She still goes down to a headshot. Good luck. You can try to body shot and then storm arrow her. It's doable. Her health regen is really fast, but it's not perfect, and you can certainly take her down with the current storm arrow. But you're going to want to do that once she comes in close, and you're very sure you can hit those storm arrow shots. Yeah.
See through the dragon's eyes.
No, that's not a sonic arrow. That is worthless. Over. Okay.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Okay, we could talk about Dragon Strike value, and that would be a viable topic, but we're not going to. The two things that I want you to work on as Hanzo, and I want you to pick one, work on it for like 5 games, 2 days, 3 days, a week, 30 games, 15 games, whatever it takes until it sort of starts becoming a habit. You're trying to make this your new habit so that you can do this habitually. It's part of your autopilot, sort of without thinking. So those mental resources are available for, other things, be that further improvement or thinking about the game that you're in from a more tactical level, etc. But what this habit that you want to build is, hey, I hit a body shot with a regular arrow. Not I shoot a shot that I expect is going to hit someone, but I hit a body shot with a regular arrow. That's when I pop storm arrow to take something down. I don't go, hey, I shot a shot, and even if I missed with it, I'm going to pop storm arrow. I don't go, hey, I shot a shot, and I think it's going to be a body shot, or I think it's going to be a miss, so I'm going to storm arrow, because you get situations like the Mercy where you hit a headshot, and then, oh no, you're rushing to do something with your storm arrow. That happened twice. There were lots of other times where you shot, you didn't hit a body shot, and you still popped your storm arrow, and it's like, well, the storm arrow isn't going to do its job. You pop a storm arrow against a Pharah, a pharmacy, when the Pharah is full health, you of course don't get the elimination with the storm arrow, and now you're done. You can't challenge her, etc. So remember, you hit the body shot, then you go for the storm arrow. Unless you're using your storm arrow to do something else, there are other legitimate uses of storm arrow. You have to because of where you are in a duel. You're intentionally breaking barriers while you're still far away, etc. There's other things, but for how you're mostly using storm arrow in this match, it should be, hey, I hit a body shot, and that's my cue to pop storm arrow. Not I hit a body shot. Not I shoot my arrow. Let me see if let me see if that's gonna hit or not while I start charging my other arrow. Oh, it hit. Well, I already started to charge this other arrow, so let me go ahead and fire this one too. No, forget that arrow. Convert it to storm arrow and go after you've hit that body shot. Assuming they aren't immediately behind cover, etc. The second thing is going to be you've just got to be more aware of the team status situation. You have to be more aware. You sent a Dragon Strike that was absolutely worthless, and while there's other things we need to work on your Dragon Strike, the Dragon Strike that you sent was a very clear signal that you had no idea how the fight was going. You are too tunneled into what you're doing. You have to be paying a little more attention to the feed, a little more awareness of how the fight as a whole is going when it's over, and that means you can A, choose not to invest ults, or B, it means you can choose to take bigger risks deep in your angle. Like if your team is behind in a 3v4, for example, you might choose to open angles wider to take bigger risks, to take steeper angles, etc., to go do something than you normally would. And you can only make those decisions if you have the proper intelligence to do so, if you know the status of the fight, etc. And it also means, hey, we're massively behind. All of my teammates are gone, or it's just me and another one. They have 4 people left. It's time for you to skedaddle, etc. And you're going to know that that's the case rather than getting caught because, oh shoot, I didn't realize until they were coming for me that they were about to come for me. So more awareness of the feed and understanding, hey, my storm arrow is after I hit body shots, etc. Anyway, if people have questions, throw them up in chat now. If you guys are looking for coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what the rates look like, all sorts of cool stuff like that, become part of the community, etc. Or if you were just here enjoying the content, that's wonderful too. Please do like and subscribe. It really does help me out. What do we have? We love staggers. Is this UB? I don't think this is B. Gotta see the turret through walls. The turret was there invisible for most of this game. Like most of this game when the turret was just across, it was right there and he had a sight line on it. He could see it without the wall hacks. Hey Bloom. Hanzo equals Arrow Junkrat. Farah equals Rocket Junkrat. Junkrat equals the original Junkrat. That's not quite true. What does Echo equal then? Echo, I guess, would be Precision Rocket Junkrat. Like I'm just thinking about this. I guess because I'm thinking Echo's an evolution of the Farah, but hey, it doesn't matter. Anyways, that's what I've got, and I'll upload another video tonight. But this is going to be it for streaming. So looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Thanks, Temporal out.